Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and of course, continuing on, reviewing more Halloweenish films on the weekends, and yes, that's right, you read the title, you know exactly what it is that I'm reviewing, something else Disney related, and that's something Halloweenish. Yes, and, well, because, yeah, and you can see with the green screen backdrop for this review that I made, yeah, so that's right, I am reviewing two old classic Disney cartoons, you know, the Silly Symphonies and so on, yeah, so I am reviewing The Skeleton Dance and The Haunted House. Yeah, so starting with The Skeleton Dance, well, first off, because these two old classic Disney cartoons, they came out in the same year, 1929, and yeah, so want to get that out of the way, so I mentioned that. All right, but yeah, starting with The Skeleton Dance, because this came first, and this is the first installment of the Silly Symphony cartoons. Okay, so description / the story. The clock strikes midnight. The bats fly from the belfry. Yeah. A dog howls at the full moon, and two black cats fight in the cemetery. A perfect time for four skeletons to come out and dance a bit. Yeah, so again, this being the first of the Silly Symphonies, for those of you that do or do not know, and, you know, it's amazing, because back then, and what they achieved with the animation, with Walt and his crew, and Ub Iwerks being one of the animators to this, yeah, just with the music that plays into this short film, and with the skeletons dancing, doing silly things, whether if they're dancing, playing instruments from their own skeleton bodies, or one skeleton in particularly taking a cat and using its tail as like a violin string or something. Yeah, and just like them just, you know, going around in circles, and, you know, how they dance and what they can do with their skeleton bodies, and sometimes like some of them coming straight at the camera. And obviously, because some kids would have been kind of scared from some of those shots. I don't blame them. And, yeah, just, what more do I have to say? Because this short film is really good, and it's a classic old Disney cartoon gem for sure. And no doubt because, well, this did make some animation history. And as I said, this being the first of the Silly Symphony cartoons. Yeah. Yeah, and Walt Disney having directed this, and Carl W. Stalling, I think I'm saying his last name right, you know, he wrote this, and also because Walt Disney and Carl W. Stalling, they did the voice of some of the animals. Walt provided the voice of the dog, and Carl provided the voice of the alley cats. I know that there was an owl and a rooster, but, you know, and, well, not to mention the ending of the short film, because the rooster crowing, and, well, the sun is about to rise, and the skeletons panicking, and they desperately go back into a tombstone and stuff like that. And it was very funny right at the end. Skeleton, like, bit of the skeleton legs and feet are tapping, knocking, and just, that's funny. Yeah, just overall, the Skeleton Dance, it's a pretty good classic Disney cartoon for sure. Yeah, and the start of the Silly Symphonies. Okay, so the second and last classic Disney cartoon that I'm reviewing for this review, The Haunted House. Again, coming out the same year and months after The Skeleton Dance. Description / the story. Mickey seeks shelter from a storm in a house that turns out to be haunted. The skeletons command him to play the organ. They dance and play along. Yeah, so Mickey Mouse being the star of this, and, well, Walt Disney, who at the time was the first voice for Mickey Mouse, so Mickey, yeah, seeking shelter from a, you know, blizzarding storm, and luckily he finds a house that nobody's living in, and he seeks shelter, but little does he know, for a moment, and when, everything just goes weird and crazy in the house, and when he realizes that it's haunted, and a Grim Reaper approaching him, and the Grim Reaper did have one line, and, well, the Grim Reaper was voiced by George McGrill. I think I'm getting his last name right. Because, yeah, the Grim Reaper approaching Mickey Mouse, and, you know, him walking slowly, and when he comes up to the camera and revealing himself from the robe, you know, the cloak and such, and it's a skeleton, and he orders Mickey to play on the organ by saying, "Play!" So that's, like, the only line and line that the Grim Reaper has. So, and thus, Mickey playing the organ, and I like how the Grim Reaper is showing him how to play it specifically, a specific tune, and thus Mickey's got it. And, well, we see the Grim Reaper and a bunch of skeletons pop up, and, well, they start to dance and play along. And, you know, the music, and that's played on the organ by Mickey Mouse, it's pretty good. I actually heard this before even seeing the short film itself, and knowing that, oh, that's where it comes from. Okay, I mean, I should have known that obviously it would come from, obviously, something from Disney, and, yeah, in this case, it's this. The shots with the skeletons and the Grim Reaper dancing, really cool and funny, of course, especially with the Grim Reaper just, like that, and, like, kicking his high, you know, skeleton feet and such. He pulls up the robe, and we see his skeleton feet dancing. So, and this short film does reuse some animation from the skeleton dance. Well, I mean, it's acceptable, and what does it matter? Just, yeah, you know, and as long as, you know, any animation that had been reused, you know, as long as, like, sometimes it was done in a good way and stuff like that. I mean, say what you will about, like, say, you know, from, say, the Jungle Book, the Aristocats, and specifically Robin Hood. Yeah, but, you know, well, and for Robin Hood, Woolly Reitherman intentionally let that happen. Reused animation from Jungle Book, the Aristocats, and Snow White. So, and if you know this, and if, yeah, so any of you that know this, and I learned this because on Robin Hood's IMDb page, but anyways, yeah, so through the dance numbers, like, you know, the shots with the skeletons and the Grim Reaper dancing, Mickey playing the organ, and he's not really having a good time. I mean, you sure, Mickey? Because they're not doing anything to you. All they're doing is just dancing and playing along. They're just having fun. But at a certain point, Mickey has had enough. He stops playing the organ. He tries to sneak out, but the skeletons and the Grim Reaper just going, "Ugh," and thus Mickey runs for his life, and going through the house and bumping into a bunch of other skeletons, like when trying to open a door, go upstairs, go into another room and such, and skeletons popping up here and there, and they're not really attacking him, they're just, like, you know, scaring him a little. And ultimately, when he gets out of the house, and he bumps into this, like, small, like, I don't know, is it a bathroom or something? You know, those old kind of bathrooms outside, and a skeleton, you know, popping up, and then Mickey, he then leaves the house property, and yeah, and that's how it ends. I tell you, The Haunted House, it's another pretty good classic old Disney cartoon for sure, and yeah, just this and the Skeleton Dance. Both of them do not disappoint. They're really good classic old Disney cartoons, and especially, you know, for any of us who, you know, are huge Disney fanatics and love past Disney stuff, and even say when it comes to past Disney animation materials, yeah, these two being one of them for sure, and always, you know, a joy to watch some of those old classic Mickey Mouse cartoons, you know, whether if it's like, say, The Haunted House or Plain Crazy, Steamboat Willie, I could go on, and of course, you know, any silly symphony like the Skeleton Dance, so you get my point. But yeah, just overall, the Skeleton Dance and The Haunted House, they are great old classic Disney cartoons, and I give each of them, well, what the heck, 10 out of 10 stars. Yes, for both The Skeleton Dance and The Haunted House, 10 out of 10 stars. And what about you guys? What do you think of the two old classic Disney cartoons themselves, The Skeleton Dance and The Haunted House? Are they some of your two favorites? And Do any of you watch them around Halloween time, or are they some of your favorite Disney Halloweenish materials? Now, hey, there's also like, say, Trick or Treat with Donald Duck and his nephews, and with that witch. That's another good one. So if you enjoy these two and that one that I just mentioned, or any other classic old Disney cartoon, and any of you that always enjoy watching the classic Mickey cartoons, Silly Symphony, and yeah, you name it. And what were some of your favorite parts and such in the two old Disney cartoons themselves? Yeah, just overall, what do you think of the two old classic Disney cartoons themselves, and with what I've had to say, my review, and yeah, what did you think of my review? Leave comments and give this review video a like, as always. And so, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of the two old classic Disney cartoons, The Skeleton Dance and The Haunted House. More review videos are coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video/review. And of course, continuing on reviewing more Halloweenish materials on the weekends. Stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace out.